What's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to show you guys how you can create your own 3D NFT for free. Super simple, super quick and easy beginner friendly method. You can add glasses, you can add hats just itself, glasses and hats. You can even change the color of the background to literally whatever color you want to. Also, if you want to change your actual sculpture, you can do that too. I'll change it like this, and you can see you got a bunch of different colors, everything. And then obviously if you get more intricate, you can make this even more complex and more fancy too. But this is a super simple start, so let's get into the video. So the first thing you're going to need to do is download Blender. So hop over to blender.org, go on the webpage, and then go ahead and click on download Blender, and then click on this button here. So depending on your computer, Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever it is, download Blender, and once you're there, hop over to it and we'll get started. Alright, so here we are on Blender. So here, the first thing you're gonna do is go to the general option, and we're gonna click on this. And now we are in the actual editing area of Blender. Alright, so this is your very first time using it. Don't worry, I'll show you guys the basics. And pretty much I am using actually a laptop, so I can use the actual, pretty much the mouse scrolly pad right here. You can go around, and then also if you actually have a mouse that's external, then you can click on the middle scroll pad, the little scroll wheel I should say, and then if you press down on it, it allows you to pretty much change the angles like this. Now if you're using something completely different, the only alternative you could use is actually here, and there's also other ways to use like numpads and like keys of that nature. But to make life simple, I'm just going to show you guys this one in case you don't have the scrolly button on your mouse, or if you have a different device you're using, right? So typically you start off on the negative y-axis. Also, if you have the numpads enabled, you can also press number 1 on your keyboard, but if that's not working, just simply click on here till you get to the -y, and that'll be essentially the front facing view of the current thing we have right now. And then for the side facing view, we press number 3, and this gives us the side facing view. And if you can't do that from your numpad, just go up to here until you pretty much just click on this X, and that'll change it to side view. Now it's kind of hard to see because it's a cube, but here I'm just going to go back, and pretty much what we're going to do now is transform this into something pretty simple shape. And then after that, you guys can get an idea of how to navigate and then go ahead and make your own creations. But first off, let's go here, click on this little wrench thing over here on the right, and this is a modifier. And what we're going to do is going to click on add modifier, and I'm going to go down and click on this thing called Subdivision Surface. So click on this. And basically what this is doing is it's making it much smoother and having more things that we can edit on here. So what you want to go is on the levels viewport option. I'm going to change this to round number 3. And I like this for now. And then all we need to do is just click into it, basically click onto it. And then you can press Control A or Command A if you're on Mac. Or if you don't have that option, you can click on this little down arrow and click on Apply too. So all those different variations work. And there you go, now we've applied this. Now I want to start sculpting this into some sort of face shape. So what we're going to do is actually go to this top, and you'll see this sculpting option. Click on this, and then now if you haven't, navigate back to the front facing view. So again, you can press 1 here. If not, click on this negative Y until you're basically on that current Y negative axis. Now, here's what we're going to do. So basic controls, I'm going to show you guys first. So we get to start off with the grab tool. So in order to do that, you can press the G tab, essentially the G key on your keyboard, or if you want to, you can go here and click on the grab tool right here. Now, if you were to go ahead and just start clicking stuff, you'll see that it only does like a little tiny piece of it, and then also does only one side, right? Now I'm going to do Command Z, Control Z basically to undo that. And then if you want to, you can press F on your keyboard, and then open and pretty much drag outside, and makes the strength of the actual grab tool much stronger. So now you can see it grabs like a whole bunch of whatever you have in front of you. And then obviously if you want it smaller, then smaller, same thing here. And then also if you want to change it without having those shortcuts, you can just go here to the strength like this, and then also the radius as well, and drag this over. And it's pretty much the same exact thing, but in life it's pretty much easier just to go like here. And strength, I'll keep it, we'll do like 0.5 for now. And again, feel free to change it up if you want to. You can see it looks like this. Now, so here's a problem. If you were to just start to drag down, you'll notice it looks kind of, I'd say, aligned, but then if you go to the side view, it's not exactly perfect, exactly, depending on what you're trying to do. So to make it to where, if I click like here, this will be for both x-axis. You can click here on this top this X, make sure you click on this, and it's gonna make your life 1,000 times easier, because now if I drag, it does it on both sides. Now sometimes that's not, I'd say, preferred, but for what we're about to do is we're about to do this actually. Now, first thing first, actually I want to make this circular spear a little bit bigger. So a way to do that is we can actually press tab, and actually this is going to take us to edit mode, or we could do control tab. And control tab, what it does is it shows us all the different options that we can switch to, and I want to go to object mode. Now I can actually click on here. Now if you're like, well, I can't do this, how else can you do it? You can also switch it physically from just clicking right here. So if we're back on sculpting mode right here, you know, we're sculpting, you don't like this, we can go up to this down here and just click on object mode here. And then I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and you can kind of see there's like a square right here and right here. I'm gonna just press the S key to scale it, and then basically just drag out till I get to about those two squares, make it a little bit bigger, right? So that's where I'm gonna keep it there. And now we can go back to sculpting mode, which you guys can click up here and do that there. Also, I can press Control Tab on my keyboard. And it might be different for Windows users, but basically, if you can't find the exact buttons, you can just go here and do that there. And now we're back in the sculpting mode, guys. So now, make sure you guys have the X clicked, because if you don't, you're gonna go crazy because things aren't gonna work properly, right? So what we're gonna do is actually, I'm gonna go closer to about the bottom. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect, exactly like mine. This is just showing you guys a general idea, and then from there, you can obviously go into more details. But I'm gonna go here and let me make it, I'm gonna press strength, the F on my keyboard, and make it a little bit bigger. Also, you can change the radius by just clicking it actually right here as well. All right, so now I'm gonna go until I see the two dots. You want to be like this, I'm gonna make it like this, where they're basically on top of each other. I'm just gonna drag down until I get down to like this bottom. Look, you see the square, and pretty much get to like right here. And then, as you can see, if I switch to the side view, also you can press M3 numpad. See, this is what we got so far. So like this, and then also if you guys want to do like a 3D view, looks like that. All right, and now if you're gonna go farther, this again, it's just our preference. And then here I'm gonna go to like the sides, and maybe make the side of the face a little bit bigger. It really doesn't matter too much, but again, this is something you guys can spend much more time on later. But now I'm gonna go press the 3 on my keyboard. Also go to X here if you don't have that set up, and then we can just drag this out. Maybe make the face out like this. And then maybe make the head a little bigger on the back right here, even on the top stuff like here. And again, this is just something you guys want to play around with, especially if it's your first time ever touching it. Then definitely I'd say see some photos and stuff. But again, a lot of NFTs, a lot of artwork is pretty much preference. And then for the most part, once you figure out a shape that you like, then you can go ahead, you know, and keep it like that. But for this tutorial, I'm gonna keep it fairly simple. And then this is like our basic little shape you guys right now. And I can make the head a little bit bigger, which I can tweak up later. But basically this is what we got here. Maybe I can just, you know, make it like this. And again, this is just something simple that you guys can play around with. Now, I'm gonna show you guys something that's pretty cool. And first off, what we're gonna need to do is create the neck, the bottom parts. And in order to do that, the way I'm doing it at least, is I'm going to make this much, much smaller, because right now you can see the current squares or the faces on this design are quite large. And if you were to make something a little more detailed and want it to be more smooth, you're gonna have to make it much, much smaller. So we're gonna actually do remesh. We're gonna do on my keypad Shift R, and right now it's at 0.1, and I'm gonna just drag over till it goes to like 0.5. All right, so there's 0.5 here. Now if you're like, yo, how do I do this on my like iPad or something, all I need to do is go to remesh and then literally type in 0.05. So you can see it's just the same exact thing here. So if you can't do what I just did with the Shift R, just go back up to your remesh and then do 0.05. Now, if you do it that way, you can click on remesh here, it's the same thing, or you can just press Control R. And now you can see that faces are much, much more detailed, much smoother. And now what we can do is go to the actual, let's go to the side face real quick so I can show you guys. So here's front, side, and go like a little angle like right here. This is where I'm essentially gonna make the neck. All right, so here, I'm gonna scroll down until I get to the mask option. So masking, if you guys don't know, is basically is right here. Okay, so click on this icon. So if you can't see, it's like under the cloth, simplify, then mask is right here. All right, so click on this mask. And now for the strength, actually the radius, I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. Strength, you can keep it that. But basically, we're just gonna draw like a little circle right here. All right, so you can kind of see if it's too big, then make it a little smaller. And then basically, just draw like a circle here, and pretty much you can see we got like a I'd say like a semi-decent big circle right here. Now, this is a trick we can do. You can go up here to mask and then click on invert mask right here. Or you could just do Command I or Control I, and that does the exact same thing. Okay, and now this is basically saying that we're only going to be affecting this part of this area. And then what I want to do is I want to go up, back over here, and look for this thing that looks like a squiggly beanie called snake hook. Click on this, and then now if I were to drag out, you can see that it only works on the mask area. But actually, we're gonna make this much bigger radius. Okay, here, and then I'm gonna go like the third, yeah, like on the side view, and I'll try to match the middle with like the 2 dots like right near the center. And then basically, if you just drag out, you can see like we have this like crazy thing coming out, right? So this essentially is the neck. All right, so I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more and just keep dragging out here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but basically you guys can get the idea. This is our little neck action. I can drag it out here. Actually, let me make it a little smaller now, and let's just drag this out here. And then, you know, we can drag in the front. Again, guys, you can get crazy with this. Drag some stuff out here. It's really just showing you guys like the basic idea. And then pretty much now, before we continue, we have to clear the mask. So we can go back up here to mask, clear mask. Also, you can do it again on your keyboard as well. But I'm just gonna go click on clear mask. All right, so now we're back to the main point. All right, so the neck doesn't look perfect, but it's no biggie. What I want to do is actually press the G, the grab again. Click on grab if you guys don't have a keyboard. And basically, you guys can actually sit here and, you know, fix up some stuff here. It's like, so on the side of the face, I want this to be a little more, have a little more, you know, cheekbone action right here. And then, so I'm going to drag this out a little bit like this. And also for the neck, it's a little too thick on this area, so I can actually just drag this inward, make it a little more narrow too, like this. And overall, I can drag this, you know, out more. And I'm not going to go super like picky and just go through every single detail. I'm just going to give you guys a general thing. Then also I can zoom out a little bit and drag this down too maybe. Check out the chin. Let's go through here. Drag this out. And then pretty much you can mess around with this stuff, guys. Not too, I'd say this is something you can spend a lot more time on. But the general idea is that's how you get it. And then you can go in here, you know, make the neck a little more thin right there. And now, basically, you're probably looking at it like, oh, what are these crazy grooves right here? How do I get rid of this? All right, so if you were to actually hold Shift and color over it, essentially, or I'd say scribble over it, it basically like deletes, like it smooths it, but like it deletes literally everything. So I'm gonna Command Z or Control Z, and then basically undo it. And what you're gonna want to do is do the same exact remesh again, but make it smaller. So we can do Shift R again. If you don't have this, just go back to remesh up here, like I said, and then just change this to like maybe, let's do like 0.3 for now. Let's just see how 0.3 does this. Again, if you guys have like a slower computer, the more you do this, it's going to make it harder. But for now, I think it would be fine. And then you could just hold Shift again and then just click it. And you can see it's still doing some more. I'd say it's still doing it like a lot. You can also just go here to the, let me go back, here to the smooth tool as well. And you can just click here. But you can see it's literally still doing it quite strong. So let's do again, Shift R. And let's make this like, let's just go to let's just go super low, like 0.1. So closer to like let's do 1.5 just to make life easier, like this. And then also I forgot to actually remesh it. That's my fault, guys. That's why it wasn't working. So actually, we can just go back to 0.0, let's just 0.02, my bad. And then hit remesh. So I didn't remesh it, I think that's probably why it wasn't working. So I forgot to remesh. So make sure you guys hit remesh, and I think this should, yeah, so 0.2 is fine. Yeah, 0.2 is definitely good. All right, so I was wondering, I was like, why it wasn't working, but yeah, I forgot to remesh. Okay, so here we are. And then you can just like go around, and you could technically just drag and just like color like this, or you can just like click it, and then that also gets you like a certain spots on here. And then you can see that I'm starting to have this thing super smooth. And look at this, look at nice and smooth and lovely. And then here is pretty much what we got so far. All right, so now if you guys still want to edit this, you can still add stuff too. So if we go back to like the third side face view again on the X axis, I can press G, and I can go here and drag like, you know, the side. So I can make this like a cheekbone almost kind of. like here. Even the head could be even bigger technically, so make the head a little bit bigger. And then also I could put it like this, maybe over here. Alright guys, not to be perfect, but right now, and then what we could do to make like more of like a, I'd say a visible showing, is we can go to this option right here, the crease, and I'll make this like a little bit smaller by holding shift that, by the way. If not, just change the radius manually right there. And then pretty much, you can go here, and this like gives you like a little crease action right there. So now you can see if the person you're making has like a chiseled jawline, then you can obviously go crazy like this. But I'm not gonna be too crazy. I'm just gonna show you guys like a basic thing, and then I can hold like shift and smooth some of these parts out. And then this is what we got so far. All right, so now this is like the general idea, but let me just do a little nose just so you can see like some facial features, I should say, unless you're making like some animal or something crazy where it doesn't use a human nose. But this is like one simple way to do it, and there's a bunch of other videos to show like more detailed stuff. But you can click on this clay strips thing right here, and let's do again, click on F, make it a little bit smaller radius closer, like let's do like 50 or 40 right now. And then also a trick too, if you guys have an external key or mouse, you can hold shift and the middle, the scroll button, the little scroll wheel, and you can actually just drag while pressing shift, and it just drags it up or whatever direction you want to without actually physically changing like the rotation of it. So that's a little trick if you guys want to do that. And I'm gonna go like right around this area, and let's just draw where I would say that I want the nose to be. So for here, I'll just start clicking like this, and basically we're just gonna draw like this. Is essentially, I don't even know what this is called, anatomy, whatever the top part of the nose is. I forgot, I gotta look it up, guys. But basically we're just gonna start drawing, and then like obviously this part where like the your nostrils are, it's much thicker right here. So I'm gonna draw like a little circular motions, and then basically, now if you probably want to like, this looks crazy, if you go to the side you can see like it's forming, it's like forming, it's thick, it's getting thicker basically, right? But you can't really see it unless you've obviously go to the side, and then you can click here, drag more, and then if it's taking too long, you can increase the radius and also the strength too if you want to increase the strength up higher. That does help as well. And you can see it looks like this. And then also, if you guys want to, like if you have it already out, you can press G, press F, and then increase it a little bit bigger. And then you can physically like drag it out too. So like if you wanted to make your nose like super long, super big, you can do it like that too. And then also you can like drag down to like make it more narrow. Again, it's a nose, everybody has different shapes, doesn't really matter too much unless you're going to make it like a perfect replica of something else. And then we can go back here to like the clay strips again, and let's do F and make it like super small. And then we can draw like the the nostril area. So here you can go like this, and then pretty much try to color these in. And then you can actually change the angle too. So if you want to change, go up like this. And this might be easier to color this stuff in here. And then pretty much you want to have some nostrils too. So let me go like in. We're going in the nose right now. And actually, I'm gonna hold the control on my my keypad. And this basically, it inverts it to where it digs into. And if you don't have that option, you can also click here as well. And that pretty much digs in as well. So in case you guys don't have control or whatever keyboard you're using, that's another way to do it. And then I'll just go back, and I'll just press control. My keyboard is easier. And let me actually hold shift, the scroll mouse button, scroll up a little bit, and then try to get closer under here. And then now we can go like this. And actually I forgot to hold control, my bad. So keep holding it, or hold the minus sign up there, and that basically digs into it. You can actually go farther and change this up a little bit. And let's see if this gives us a better indentation. All right, so here we got like this, and again you can sit here, keep digging in, and it looks like I went a little too hard. So let me make the thing again a little smaller and rebuild back out this nose again, and then just focus strictly on like this area. And my bad, hold control again, and let's just keep digging in here. And right now it looks like the strength might be a little too strong. But I mean, for the most part, I'm gonna go a little bit lower actually. Let's do like 0.6, and then here we go. Just color back in, And then same thing here, just do a little bit like that. All right, so now nose looks a little crazy. Don't worry though, we can actually go here and click on smooth, and then we can make it like much bigger, and then we can actually go here and we can smooth that also, or we can do, let's do Shift R, let me zoom out really quick. Let me scale it up one sec. Let's do Shift R and make this even smaller, like 2.14, and then Control R to remesh it. If you can't do that, make sure you guys just type it in here and then click remesh, same thing. And then we can go here, try to smooth out the nose, that way it's not freaking out on us, and also you can have like a better visual. And this is what my man's nose is looking at like now. All right, so not too shabby. Obviously people have different shapes and stuff like that, so if you don't like the way it looks, then obviously you can go ahead and go back to the side view. You can press the G tool and you can, you know, tweak it up, make it look more however you feel a nose should look like. And then if you want to make it even more, I'd say like narrow, you can actually go here. This is like a flatten tool, and I'll make it a little bigger. We can flatten it here actually, and then even the sides too. But for the most part, I can spend too much time on this because obviously people are making different designs. I can actually grab this to make it more narrow, even if I want to you know, make the nostrils even smaller. You can bring this in too, but I'm gonna keep it like this. And then also you can use like the crease tool too if you want to make like this this shape, you know, more. That's a little big, but like if you want to make it like a little more noticeable too, feel free. But I'm not gonna spend too much time on the nose, guys. There's definitely more tutorials showing like super in detail stuff. But that's just trying to give you like a visual of like the facial action. Now, if you think the nose is like too high, then obviously you can literally physically grab it too and drag it down. But I'm just gonna keep it like this for just tutorial's sake. And then you can go ahead, add eyeballs, whatever you want to. So you're probably wondering, how do we add coloring to this? How do we change the color of this stuff? All right, so there's complicated ways to do this, but the easiest way is to literally go over to this world icon. Now, first off, let's just go through the different editing tabs. So this is the wireframe pretty much. This is what we use typically to shade stuff. But this top right here, this one, viewport shade, click on this right here, this little circle. And this is currently showing us what the final render would look like. So if you were to click on this little camera icon, this is what we have, and it looks crazy, right? Now we can actually change this real quick. Let's go to click on this little arrow here. We can press N on your keypad too, same thing. Go to view, and then let's change this camera to viewport. And then we can literally just go here and just like change this up here. And then also if I wanted to hold shift mouse pad, I can go like this. And we still got some work to do, right? So it looks horrific. So if I were to render this, it literally look exactly like this, right? So we have to change up some lighting, background, stuff like that. But let me show you guys how to add color first off. All right, so click on the design you have, so aka the cube. Now, if you don't have this, let's go back to layouts. All right, so now we are in layouts mode because we're pretty much done with the sculpting parts. And let's just zoom out a little bit like this. And I want to click on my guy's face really quick. I'm gonna press G, and then I'm gonna press Z, and I'm gonna drag him up a little bit above basically this grid right here. And then also hold shift and just drag them up here and look at like this angle right now. So again, if we were to go back to the final render view, this is what it currently looks like, and that's not the best look. Also, we click on the camera, well, notice it's like in some weird awkward position. So typically if you wanted to, you hold the middle mouse button, it gets you out of the camera. And then also, if you try to move much, nothing really happens, right? So let me show you guys, make sure you guys actually have this first, is go to Edit, go to Preferences, click on Key Map, and then type in View, and just type in like Nav. And make sure you have this Walk Fly, and it's basically saying Shift, and then like the little inward asterisk symbol. I don't even know what you call this. But basically, this is on my keyboard. It's right next to number 1. It's a little like mini little tab, whatever you want to call that. I forgot the name. Basically, make sure you guys have that on here. I don't know why it shows 2, but it just does. But now what we can do if you actually have that, and you can change the shortcut to different stuff. But now if I were to hit Shift and the little like tab, the not tab, the little asterisk thing, you can see that now we have this different view. And then if I hold it's like a video game, like W goes forward, S goes back, D, and then A goes left and right. So like WA, you can move around like this, and then if you hold shift while pressing like WS, A, or D, it goes much faster. So now, if we're in the camera view, and you're like, bro, I don't want to get the bottom of my man's neck, aka his like non-existent body, we can actually go and press the shift little asterisk symbol. Now you can see we can change the view, and then we can actually go up and down. You can move around until you like the angle, whatever angle you think looks good. And I'll keep it like probably like this, kind of like in photography where it's like the side angle, and I'll keep it like here. And then we can go back out of the camera, and then pretty much we can just adjust this with a middle button now. And basically I'll do the shift little asterisk symbol again, a little closer, and then I'll just left click, and now we're back to this view. Right, so first off, let me show you guys how you can add a color to my man's. And also I noticed like his nose is a little indented, so what we could do is actually just like sculpt that really quick. So I'm gonna go sculpt and just like smooth my man's out a little bit. Nothing too crazy, not gonna spend too much time. You guys don't have to copy this, I'm just trying to do it. And I'll tweak them up a little bit later, but right now I'll just go back to object mode again. Alright, so first thing is click on your dude, aka whatever you just created. Go all the way down to this like little circular, looks kind of like a globe, and material properties. And basically go here to base color and change it to whatever color you want to. And now notice how nothing happens because we are not in final render. So look, you see now my man's green, and it looks kind of weird because the lighting is not that good, but now you can see basically you can change this to whatever you want to, right? So I'm just gonna go to change it to black. And then you can actually mess around with some of this stuff, like you want to make it like metallic looking. And right now it doesn't look too good because of obviously the way the lighting is set up. Also roughness changes it from kind of like super shiny to like, it's kind of like a matte, like have you ever seen like a microphone, like the fuzzy parts, it kind of looks like that. And again, you can tweak this up to whatever you want to. I'm gonna keep it like a little bit shiny, like I should keep it like 0.4. And then you can mess around with all this other stuff, like clear coat makes it like super shiny, but it's hard to see right now. And for the most part, I'm just gonna keep it like this just to make life simple, right? Now, here is actually what I'm gonna do to make this look a little bit better, because now we go to camera, kind of looks like this, looks not that fun, right? So let's go click into our like empty grid, just click anywhere, and then press Shift A, go to mesh, and go to plane. All right, so now we have this plane right here. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I'm gonna press S, and we're gonna scale this up. And let me zoom out a little bit and put my mouse like closer to the center, so when I press S again, I can scale it much bigger. I'll make it about like these two giant, so basically it's like a 2x2 with these like squares right here. And then what we can do is press Tab. And now make sure you have this middle option selected, this edge select, and then click on this edge right here. And then basically we're gonna press E. So let's go to the third view, the third facing view. Press E, and then basically just drag it up. And I'm just gonna try to follow the line right here, and I'll probably drag it up a little bit up. And it's pretty straight right there. And now you can see we got this thing right here. Now I can zoom out, and I'll press it again and make it even bigger if you wanted to. Again, but it's only against that part. So I'm gonna Command Z it, and then just do it always as high as I can, like this, till I get like right there, right? So now I have this like giant backdrop, kind of look like a photography thing. And in case you drag it up and it looks ridiculous, like it's angled wrong, you can click actually on the entire face, like right here, and then basically press R, and then I think it's Y axis, actually, I think it's X, yeah, X, and basically you can like adjust it and make it straight depending on, you know, how you angled it, right? Obviously, it's looking crazy right now because mine's already at like 90-degree perfect, but yeah, you guys can change it up, but I like to where mine's at. And now go back to the edge select, make sure you guys have the edge select. That's what we have currently so far. And now if you notice, we click on the photography or the camera, you'll notice that it has like this ugly little line that's showing, and also it's kind of like not covering the whole backside. So let's go click out of the camera, click into this edge select here, go to the wrench, add modifier bevel, and now we got a little smooth action. And then segments, I'll put like 30. offset. I mean, you can do like 0.1. It's up to you. And then kind of has what we got going on like this. And then we can just do Command A. And if that's not, actually we have to go out of edit mode back to object mode. I forgot. Okay, here, click back to object mode right there. And then we can do Command A and apply it. And now we go to the photo. It looks much smoother and cleaner. And now we can actually click, let's go back to the photo. Click the plane in the background, press just S. And then if you guys want to scale it up, you can scale it up like this. Or if you want to scale it against like X axis like this, gives you some more room like there. And then also, I mean, I can move my guy, but keep it like this for now. And that's pretty much the current background. Now, the lighting is not very good. So let's go here. And first off, click on the lighting. And then you're going to go to the little light bulb here. It's currently at 1000. Let's do this. Let's do Shift D. And let me put a light like right over here. I gotta change my view like to this, and then press G, Z, drag them up. And I'll just put them like right here, and then G, Y, move them a little bit forward, and I'm gonna change this to like, let's do like 5000. So a little brighter, much brighter here. Same thing here, I'll put G, X over here, G, Y a little bit. I'll put them like right here. And let's put like, let's do 2, see how that looks. And again, you can mess around with the lighting. Let's do a little more bright. Let's see, it looks like 5000. Now you don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing. I'm just trying to over exaggerate. You can see it much clearer. And then for the background, let's go and click on the world icon again, new. And let's change this base color to like let's do like a bluish blue. And also you notice that you can kind of see the little ripples in the background. So what we could do is right click this, shade smooth, and it's a little bit better. But if you want to make it like fully to where it's like really difficult to see anything, you can actually change the roughness, and you can either max it out here or you can take it out. I think maxing it out makes it much, I'd say, clear in terms of that. And then also any sort of like additional stuff you can mess around with. And then like all this stuff here, again, I'm gonna change it to like take off this here. And then I'm gonna see if I can do with like a, maybe let's do like a, not like the darkest, but kind of like this like bluish purplish color. Looks pretty cool here. And then if you go to your camera, you can see what it looks like right now. Now, basically, if you were to render this right now, it will look exactly how it looks right now. So if I go here to render, by the way, you would go to render image, and depending on how complex your thing is, it's what it currently look like, right? And that's basically it. And then literally you can save it. Now, if you want to add some more cool stuff to it, you know, make your guy look a little more fancy, you could do that. So let me actually go and just add some stuff I created earlier. All right, so I went ahead and added some things I made earlier. So right now I have a little beanie. And then also, if you guys want a little fancy, you can have some little like 3 glasses. I got some glasses right here. These are basic, nothing fancy, but you guys can get the points. And then you can just scale it up to whatever you like. So I'm gonna take it off like this. And then if you were to go back to the camera, you can see he looks like this. And then boom, we can shift tab up here and get even closer to my man's. And that's what it looks like there. Now, if you want better lighting, add some more lights, feel free. And then again, render image again with little beanie. And my guy looks like this currently because I don't have the other side deleted. But you get the point. This is currently what we got going on. So if you guys enjoy this, like and subscribe. Definitely share me what you guys decide to make in the comments below. Definitely want to see that. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.